Hi, today is part 2 of our read aloud of Moonshot. We left off with the spaceships connecting on this part and then leaving the Saturn behind and letting it float. And then they're on their way to the moon. So today in part 2, we're going to learn more about what they're doing inside the spaceship and what it was like. On board Columbia and Eagle, Armstrong, Collins, and Aldrin unclick gloves, unclick helmets, unclick the straps that hold them down, and float inside their small ships. They're home for a week. And today I was trying to float on my ball here in our read aloud to kind of get a more space feel. Here there is no up or down. An astronaut can spin in air and turn a floor into a wall or a ceiling to a door. On those ceilings, walls, and floors, there are straps and screens and gauges, buttons, handles, and hoses, and switches, switches, switches. So take a look at the detail in this image, actually showing you what is inside. Looks like a lot of things to learn before you go up in space, how to operate. There are food and clothes packed into corners, and flight plans, flashlights, pens, and cameras, and they float too. They drip from hands and pockets. That's why there's Velcro everywhere, for holding things so they stay put. So let's think about why would they put Velcro everywhere? You know what kind of Velcro you have in your house. So think about how you could use Velcro in space and why they would use that in space after listening to this page. Here, where everything floats, it takes some skill to eat a meal. That ham salad sandwich, watch the crumbs. Soup, it comes in a bag, dry as dust. Fix the bag to the water gun, fill it, mix it, stir it up. Cream of chicken, not too bad. Better than the peanut cubes. So I remember when we were in class and we were watching videos of how they were doing their teeth and they had the water bag, so they must use that to make their food as well. So we're using our prior knowledge about what we already knew and kind of connecting that. Here, where everything floats, it takes some skill to go asleep. There are no beds or pillows, no night or day. There's always, though, the hum of circuits, the whir of machines, the thought of where you are, and the thought of where you are going. So think about that. When you go to sleep tonight, think about how it would be like to hear the whir of machines and not really knowing where you are because you're up in space. And that would be a weird kind of thought to think before you go to bed. So that's funny. It's interesting to think about. And one more thing, here where everything floats, everything, it takes some skill to use the toilet. It takes pipes and hoses and bags. And there's no fresh air outside the window. After a week, this small helm will not smell good. This is not why anyone wants to be an astronaut. So let's think about what that actually means, that statement there. This is not why anyone wants to be an astronaut. So what the details listed on this page, that would not be why you wanted to be an astronaut, to be in a small place where you have to go to the bathroom in a different way, right? But still ahead, there is the moon, cold and quiet, no air, no life. But glowing in the sky, glowing and growing, it takes them in and pulls them close. Imagine looking out of the window and seeing that. So weird. At the moon, Collins stays in Columbia, high above a single circling soul. Armstrong and Aldrin leave an Eagle, and they take it low and lower. They have just enough time and just enough fuel. They have a plan and a place to land, a chosen safe site among the craters. So one of them stays up here circling, and the rest of them go in Eagle down, 2 of them, down to the special spot that they had planned in the crater. Now friends and strangers in the distance down below Stay up late, get up early, and stop as one to watch and wait. There are only maps and models to see. There is no camera that can show the landing far away. But what strange sounds there are to hear. Whistles, beeps, and static. Weird new words and quick clipped news of altitudes and speeds. Leaping across the dark between mission control and the men who are taking the Eagle to land on the moon. Who are going where no one else has been. So because this happened in the past, whenever there weren't the capabilities to show us the camera of the moon landing, most people watched on TV just the reports that they were hearing and a couple of noises. They couldn't actually see what was going on. On board Eagle, Aldrin calls out information while Armstrong steers the ship. They fly lower and lower, looking for their new landing site. But now Eagle, they see, has flown too far. They are miles from where they mean to be. And below their small and spindly ship, they see no level place. Only broken stone and rock, only shadows and deep craters on the great and growing moon. So I want you to stop and think about the problem that I just read, the problem that they came across up on the moon. So go ahead and stop and think. If you need to go back and listen, you can. That's a tool that readers can do. They can go back and reread. And inside Eagle, alarms light up, warnings that come in numbers and codes. Not even the astronauts know. But go, go, says Mission Control. Eagle, Houston, you're a go for landing. Far from home and far from help, still steady, steady the astronauts fly as time and fuel are running out. Then there, clean and flat, not too far, 60 seconds left. Armstrong fires the rockets. Eagle slows and lower goes until a spray of dust, a bloom of moon, flowers up around her, slow and slower, low and lower, low and lower, landing! And far away where friends and strangers lean to listen, where friends and strangers lean to hear, there comes a distant voice. Armstrong calling from the moon, calm as a man who just parked a car. Houston, he says, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Armstrong is calm, but on Earth they cheer. Hooray! Then Armstrong and Aldrin climb down from Eagle in heavy gloves, in large round helmets, in suits not made for Earth. So we're going to read part 3 in the next part because there's still some more to go. So that was part 2. Thanks for tuning in.